Hello everyone. I have basically run out of things to discuss for this season, and it has been a while since we've done another fashion show video, and I think it's time. In fact, I recently submitted one of my Titans for a fashion contest on Bungie's Twitter, and I won.
Yo,
that's
content creator.
Streamer
horrible,
privilege.
dude.
Nice,
Another
good,
streamer.
cool.
Okay, now that we have that out of our systems, something I would suggest trying for any future fashion shows is to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Idiots! No, I would try shaders that don't get a lot of use. Get creative there. There's a ton of black and white, white only, black red, black gold characters out there. Sure, they look good, but it's been done to death. Speaking of which, I set some self-imposed rules on my armor sets for this video like I have done in the past. The first is to not use certain kinds of shaders, stuff like Metro Shift, monochromatic, stuff that I feel like a ton of people use because they look good and are simple. Black and white, black and gold, red and black. I tried to stay away from these because they can make any randomly thrown together armor set look amazing. Also, I did not want to use shaders that I've already used for fashion shows in the past. I also tried to limit myself to how many pieces of armor from the same set that I could use for a full armor set. I used 3 for only 1 armor set, but everything else uses 2 at the most in an attempt to challenge myself creatively. Using a full set is just pretty easy. It doesn't really take any planning. There's nothing wrong with using a full set of armor or using those look good on anything shaders, but I wanted to make the video a little more interesting than having everything in black and red or black and gold or all black or all white. I'm not going to have as many sets as I've had in previous videos. This is going to be mainly Titan focused, although I do have 1 set on my Hunter and Warlock to show off. Gearing has gotten a bit more complicated since the last time we did a show back in Season 5. Let's start with my Tryhard Titan. This is using the Ancient Defender shader from doing Flawless Garden of Salvation. We're using Helm of Saint 14, Optimacy gloves from Season 1, the Star-Crossed Heart chest piece from Black Armory, Hardy's Steps from Warmind, and the Phenotype mark from Season 8. My mark has the Ancient Believer shader on it to have the bronze pop a little bit more, even though it doesn't match exactly. This is my go-to armor set for stuff like Master Nightfall, Grandmaster, the Raid, anything that's considered any level of difficult. It is all Void, as I tend to use hand cannons like Spare Rations and Ariana's, or snipers like Izanagi's Burden or Trophy Hunter in those activities, but Void also has grenade launchers, which covers Mountaintop and Wendigo when I break those out, which is more common for the Raid or Master Nightfall. I'm heavily pushed into recovery, choosing to max it out because I feel like recovery is the best stat because it's the one thing that I can truly feel working in the game. Resilience is kind of tough to feel working in PvE. Otherwise, I'm heavy into discipline and intellect. Grenades and supers, always good. Strength, not as much on this set because Titans have a lot of mechanics that allow them to generate melee energy. In this case, Top Tree Sentinel has defensive strike. You'll see this theme across almost all of my characters. Recovery and discipline are where I tend to dump the most stats, as I feel like they're the stats that impact my personal gameplay the most. I'm also using some Season 9 mods for protection purposes, Shield Break and Taking Charge to build Charged with Light charges for Protective Light for even more safety in any bad spots I might find myself. I will also swap stat mods for Minor, Major, and Boss resist mods when the need arises, which is mainly for GM Nightfall. Can always swap protection for offense as well with High Energy Fire. I also have a spin-off set of this armor that I use solely for Sanctified Mind, which revolves entirely around the use of Xenophage and Actium War Rig. It is not nearly as impressive looking as some of the other armor sets here, so I'm not really going to dwell on it. I use it for literally 1 fight in the game. Next, let's go to my Emblem Award-winning Sunbreaker Titan armor set. I mainly use this with Bottom Tree, hence the Phoenix Cradle. I have yet to get another roll of Phoenix Cradle, hence the terrible stat roll. The shader is Vanguard Flashfire from Season 10, the first time I think I've ever used a Vanguard shader. We're using the Virtuous Helm from the Season 9 pass, and the Flawless Trials of the 9 gloves from Season 2 for the pops of blue, while the rest of the set is a very bright orange or silver. I like to try to match my shaders to my subclass if the armor set is for a specific subclass, try being the key word there. The chest piece is the Empyrean Cartographer from Season 8, Booster Phoenix Cradle, and the mark is the Illustrious Chromite mark from Festival of the Lost a couple of years ago. I just recently swapped out the gloves. I used to have Illustrious Chromite there as well, but got a good set of gloves from Trials and saw the matching glow with my helm, and I thought it was a nice touch, especially since the glow of the gloves is always blue. Stats-wise, I'm not as strong as the first set because of different mod selections. Recovery's way down, but that's okay because I have a lot of opportunities to start regeneration of my health manually with Bottom Tree Sunbreaker. I've only recently started to try some of the Season 9 mods in here as well. I can always just rip them out and replace them with stats. We're pretty high in discipline and strength just to really bolster my ability usage since this set is based solely on using abilities. The weapon mods are all neutral, so I can use whatever weapons that I want. I have some hive mods in here as well for any hive activities to round out the build. I use this set for the first half of the raid before I switch back to Defender for boss damage, and this has been my go-to set for just messing around the game on the PvE side of things. Strikes, lower level nightfalls, bounties, patrols, etc. I really like how it turned out, and I really like that I can finally splash some big color on my Titan and have it turn out pretty well. Next up is PvP. We're a little more slim here compared to the previous set. The shader used is Pomegranate Gloss from Holiday event, Dawning 2019, I think. The exotic that I'm using is Crest of Alpha Lupi, although I did have Citans for a short time, but I think people have figured out the gimmick on that one. The other pieces are 2 pieces from the Trials of Osiris armor, helm and gloves, and star-crossed armor, legs, and class item from Black Armory. The crest has the new Monarchy ornament back from faction rallies in Season 3. I know I'm a future War Cult guy, but if I don't use the ornament, then the crest is gold, and it doesn't really match. I'm actually using Iron Oxide from an old Iron Banner for the crest as well, but Pomegranate also looks good. I like Crest for the health regen. It's really nice to have, and you have a lot of opportunities to use it during a match. I know Antaeus wards are the exotic of the season for Titans right now, despite what I thought was going to be a bug fix happening. Guess that bug fix was really impacting how good the exotic was. But I've been doing much more sniping than shotgunning lately, so I'm just not really in the fray as much to use them. Again, we are very high recovery. I have another helm to swap to if I want to hit 100, but I do take a hit to other stats. We are completely set up around sniper mods for more ammo, and then some various unflinching mods. I've been using the Summoner a bunch recently, really like it, although Spare Rations is also a go-to. Couple of intellect mods on the armor to round it out. Definitely like this set for its simplicity. The pomegranate is a nice color too, but it's not a so in-your-face red like a lot of the other Crucible shaders are. Next are a couple of more experimental armor sets that I've been trying to find armor pieces for without much luck, so these are a work in progress. The first is the Yeetlord shoulder-charging Death from Above Titan. This set consists of bigger armor pieces, Froststrike Helm from a previous holiday event, Valkyrian Gloves from the Season 10 Season Pass, Sunbreak Plate from Season 6 for the shotgun shells, Virtuous Greaves for the knee blades, kind of fits the theme, from the Season 9 Rank Pass, and the Sunbreak Mark, also Season 6. This is the default no exotic set. I have Insurmountable Skullfort for PvE and Dune Marchers for PvP, since the Dune Marchers buff ended up being way better than I thought it would. The purpose of this set is to be as loud and as big as possible, hence the shader selection of Copper Tone Patina from Season 10. It's a splash of blue for Striker Titan, but otherwise a very shiny copper throughout in order to draw attention. I'm also experimenting with Season 9 mods. Striking Light is a big one for a little more protection, Powerful Friends for some more speed, very arc focused for melee, shotgun, and machine gun mods, a couple of Season 10 seasonal mods as well if I want, like Thunder Coil. We can rotate that one out when the season's over. No seasonal mod slot on the chest armor though. Feels bad. Overall, I really like the look of this set with Dune Marchers more than Skullfort. I think the helm sells this set pretty well, and Skullfort is just not really a helm that screams, I'm going to smash you into the ground, compared to Frost Strike. The final Titan armor set is pretty much going to be a Season 10 exclusive, as it is a Warmind cell-based armor set. We're using the Sunbreak helm, one of my favorite helms from Season 6, Star-Crossed Fists from Season 5, Black Armory, chest and legs are from the Season 8 rank pass, and the Trials of Osiris mark from Season 10. The set is not masterwork because I just don't know how much I'm really going to be using it now that I got my video out on the mods. This is the only set that I think sort of breaks my shader rules. It's a silver shader vitrified duality from Season 9, but it's got some yellow/light gold hints that I like. Very neutral set so that you can use it with any sort of subclass. Stats here are going to be a little bit lower thanks to needing so many seasonal mods, although you could just forego reserves for stats. You can swap in any exotic if you want. I'm not the hugest fan of the collar on the chest piece, but I think it still looks pretty good. Okay, so those are all of the Titan sets. Let's take a look at my default sets for Hunter and Warlock. I have not put as much effort into these characters because I don't really play on them nearly as often as I do my Titan, so my gear options are pretty limited in terms of stat rolls, not necessarily armor selection. Let's start with my Hunter. I think this is actually one of my best looking armor sets across all armor sets I've ever made. This is the default armor, so it's a one-size-fits-all kind of set where I just swap in whatever exotic I want based on the situation. The main shader is Satu Tribe from Black Armory. Blue, silver, this shader is definitely one of those that might cheat my rules of the no easy shaders, but I've been using it for 3 seasons now, and I just really, really dig it. Armor-wise, we have the Intrepid Helm from Season 7, the Raid Gloves with only a shader, which adds to the set with that blue glow. Really like that. Chest piece is Dragonfly Regalia from Forsaken, Cartographer Boots from Season 8, and I'm actually using the Guardian Games Cloak with the bronze hints. I really like the hood shape here. I like a bigger hood as opposed to a smaller hood or no hood, although the Raid Cloak does work pretty well here as well with its blue glows. Stats are not the greatest because nothing is masterworked, but that's partly because I just did a refresh on my Hunter's armor. Same for my Warlock, where I dug through all of my stockpiled armor in order to update and upgrade, but even then, average roll on this armor set is only 59, so there's still work to be done here. Just haven't had much luck on drops, nor have I been running as many raids. Warlock, I actually find to be the toughest to do fashion for because their main armor pieces are the helm and the chest. The gloves are seen a little bit. The boots are seen a little bit. The bond, a little bit. But the main pieces are helm and chest. For Season 8 and 9, I went with a Vex look, just rocking the Vex armor from Season 8 with buffer overflow, but I've already used that shader, and I wanted to change things up. Wanted to go with more of a regal look for Warlock, but not pure gold, although there are strong gold elements here because you can't change the gold parts of the robe.
Because Lamar, why would you be able to do that?
The shader on this brand new set is Regal Medallion from Season 9. I wanted to use Callus's Preferred on the helm, but the reflective element just didn't really match the rest of the body, but I do have it on my boots because it's just not as noticeable. The helm is from Season 10's Season Pass. The robes are from Season 8. The gloves are also Season 10. Boots are from Season 8. And the bond is from Season 10, which does break the only use 2 armor pieces rule, but it's a bond, so who cares? I really like the brightness of the lighting on the bond. I think it really works well with the rest of the glowiness of the set. Shocker of the Century here, heavy into recovery and grenade, super, and melee, mainly because I use Crown of Tempest and Nezarec Sin the most, both of which revolve around ability use. Crown more than Sin. My Warlock actually has one of the highest total stat tiers across all my armor sets. 34 tiers worth of stats, nothing below tier 5, with a couple of Season 9 mods thrown in as well. Those are my armor sets for this season and probably the next season, probably until Season 12. Now, while making my armor sets and looking at what other armor sets people have made and wondering where certain armor pieces came from, I really came to the conclusion of, man, there are way more armor sets that have gone through Eververse than I thought. I mean, I knew it was a lot, but dude, it's a lot. I was fortunate enough to get sets from earlier seasons by just playing the game, but since Shadowkeep and like all the holiday events that have passed by, my inventory has been dry since I do not buy anything with silver. And since most of the gear that I use comes from the raid, since a lot of armor doesn't really come with high stat rolls minus prime engrams, that limits my capabilities even more. We've covered this point before in a previous video, but unshadable parts of armor need to go, or I need to have the option to shade them. I understand if something like Crest of Alpha Lupi's identity as an armor piece comes from the gold insignia on it, but I'm gonna be real with you, I kinda don't care. Let me shade it. Finally, I find it difficult to mix and match shaders because of the very specific shades of colors that each shader has and how bad it can look to mix colors that don't match almost exactly. Neutrals like grays, whites, blacks, those are fine, some silvers here and there, but good luck with a lot of the other colors. Even certain shades of gold don't really match up that well. I'm not exactly saying that Bungie needs to release multiple shaders of the same colors in different patterns though, since I imagine that would just get the community really annoyed that they're re-releasing shaders in different color patterns, but yeah, it'd just be nice to be able to mix and match shaders a little bit more without it feeling impossible to do so or having it feel like this just doesn't match at all. Anyway, that is my fashion show for Season 10. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to tweet me some of your more creative armor sets. Let's see some non-full black, non-full white, non-black and white armor sets. See what you got. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.